AYO AKINOLA, Detroit-born, Brampton-raised. There's been so much said about AYO AKINOLA, about the potential that he has.
It's always in the back of my mind that I do not want to live that type of way ever again.
It's AYO AKINOLA! What a start for TFC! A lovely finish from AYO AKINOLA.
I think AYO was hungrier than any of them. It's something that he needed to do.
Nobody wants to give me an apartment, so it makes things so terrible, and I was so down.
It's AKINOLA! It's incredible!
I don't want anybody to have any pity on me just because of what I went through. Me and my brother, we always supported our mom no matter what. No matter what she was going through, no matter what we were going through. I know we were always gonna be in this together.
Coming to Canada? Sure. Yeah. It's not easy for me. Actually, I left Nigeria to seek for better life for myself and my boys. But getting here, knowing that I have no family, no relative, not even friends, so I have to start from scratch. The other issue that I'm going through is to get an apartment, because I don't have any ID, nothing that shows Canadian status, and even credit.
Just over 20 years ago, Ronke Akinola moved from Nigeria to Detroit and gave birth to her son, Ayo. Less than a year later, they came to Toronto. After giving birth to her second son, Tom, Ronke had difficulty finding a place to live, as well as consistent work.
They don't respect our degree in Nigeria, so I have to go to schools. So I went to aesthetics school, so I get the certificate. But I never realized how tough it is to even get a babysitter, or knowing that you have to pay like huge amount of money for someone to babysit your kids.
I think it was very hard, especially when there's a time of need. You always need someone. And unfortunately, we didn't have no one.
The Akinola family moved to Brampton when Ayo and his brother Tom began elementary school, where the boys were invited to play organized soccer.
They have to buy cleats, they have to buy jersey, and I'm like, I don't have money for that. I just lose my job.
She would have to be balancing, trying to, get our basic necessities, plus still trying to pay for soccer fees. Sometimes we'd sacrifice that. That way we could have more money for the soccer.
So one day I just think, instead of me sitting at home looking for a job and stress myself, why can't I go and watch their game? So I went and get into the field. What I see on that day, I'm like, wow.
Even at an early age, we saw the potential in AYO. He was somebody that was different. He was bigger, he was stronger, he was faster.
But I let Carlos know that this is my issue because then I don't have a job. And I know you have to pay the fees, so. And it's like, yeah, Ronke, we work things out, don't worry.
She was the loudest parent. Honestly, she was a great parent. She would always praise the kids on the other team. The most important thing for AYO and Tom was Ronke.
I think the first time we experienced homelessness was probably right about when we were about 8 or 9 years old.
That time, my job is not dependable.
We were coming home from school one day, and as me and my brother went upstairs, tried to open the door, it was locked, it wouldn't open.
Imagine you're just coming home and there's no way of you getting back into your room.
I went to the office to talk to the superintendent there, and the lady is like, I told you, you have to come and pay the money on time. You're already 1 month behind.
At that point, it was just like, we don't know where we were gonna stay, because we had no relatives here. So at that point, we just had to stay a few nights in our car. Now you start to wonder, what's gonna happen next?
Ronke was able to catch up on her rent payments and get her family back into their apartment. But 2 years later, they found themselves in the same situation again.
I remember the day. It was December 11, 2011. That was the time our mom told us that we're moving to a homeless shelter.
In my mind, I'm thinking just a month to get an apartment. But then my credit is messed up. So I was in that shelter for like 8 months.
The rooms are small, you know, you end up thinking a lot. It could like bring you to some dark times.
We all made a decision like not to tell anyone, especially our friends.
Sometimes I will see my son crying and he will never show his face. Imagine that 12 years old, seeing him crying, and I'll be like, "Ayo, you crying?" Like, no, I'm fine.
Soccer was definitely an escape. It was definitely an area where I can just clear my mind and not think about the situation that we're in.
He poured the anger on the field, but by himself, he doesn't talk, he's just keep quiet. Sometimes if you call him, he will be like, "What?" You know, like you can see the anger in him.
At that point, we were just needing and wanting answers through our mom, and we can just see it in her face that she was sad, you know, depressed.
She wouldn't eat, she wouldn't even leave the room. She started thinking about her life a lot.
Me and my brother started to realize, like, this is not a good situation whatsoever.
And at one point, I felt selfish because I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't go anymore. So I developed this depression of which I almost committed suicide. He called for help. Him and Tom, they grabbed me, and we have a little struggle because I already put the rope there. I'm struggling, so he called for help, and then from there they take me to hospital.
It's one of the hardest things you could watch. You know, when your own mother tries to take her own life. That's something that I never ever want to experience again. You know.
He's like, "Mommy, I'll take care of you. You don't have to kill yourself. I'll take care of you. Just have faith in me."
That was just like a turning point for me. That, like, even though I was young, I knew that I was determined. That I knew I was gonna make something out of this career. No matter what it took, soccer was my go-to, and that I can support my family in any way, so that my mom doesn't have to feel like she failed or anything. That, you know, that she has a son that she can lean on and can count on.
Ayo excelled as a player for Brampton East and was selected to train with TFC Academy. But the opportunity to play with Canada's national program proved more elusive.
But we had some players selected, but Ayo wasn't one of them. And then a second time for another camp, for an under 15 camp, we had one other player selected, but Ayo wasn't selected. And at that time, he was with the provincial program. So they had opportunities to see them. And then I had known that Ayo was born in Detroit.
At that point, Carlos took matters into his own hands and just decided maybe I can get the opportunity with the U.S.
After impressing a U.S. scout at a tournament in New York, Ayo was selected to play with the U.S. national program, including an appearance at the Under-17 World Cup.
He had the pressure of his whole family. The way he was looking at it was, this is an opportunity that he couldn't let go.
Oh, it helped me in a huge way, massively. It's a confidence boost, knowing that, you know, the coach really sees you as one of the best players in the country of the United States.
When he came back, Ayo had offers also from Europe, and with obviously from TFC, that changed his life.
At that point, I didn't know what to expect. Knowing that you've came for playing with, you know, teenagers, now playing against men, you know, now everything has changed.
Kickoff is on the way from BMO Field. Toronto FC opening up against the New England Revolution.
As soon as I see him coming on the field, I started shaking. I was nervous. I can't control myself.
Now it's Akinola. Akinola does really well. Still AYO Akinola! And it's tied up as AYO Akinola scores his first Major League Soccer goal.
As soon as he scored, I jump up. In fact, everybody in that parents' area, they know Ayo is my son because I was screaming at the same time crying.
I was happy, especially just to see my mom happy. Because like, for me and my brother, we always want to see her happy. Like, that's like priority number one.
Wow. That was one of my happiest days in life.
That was a special moment that we can all share together. You know, me scoring the goal and them being there to witness it. I think that was a very proud moment of our family.
Ayo appeared in 8 games as a 19-year-old last season. This year, another opportunity came in July in Orlando.
It's a chance for a second goal for AYO Akinola. What a story this tournament is turning into for AYO Akinola.
I say, Ayo, this is an opportunity. You can do better. You give me 3 goals. I know you can do it.
I was like, my reaction was like, okay, yeah, I'll try my best.
Here's a chance for AYO Akinola for his hat-trick! AYO Akinola with a 3rd goal on the night. What a story for this young striker.
Our neighbor here, they were like, something happened because I was screaming out of my lungs.
It's always in the back of my mind that I do not want to see that face that she was in back in the shelter ever again. That's what drives me. I'm going to do everything in my power for her to live a good life.
Akinola with a header, and it's tied.
Seeing my son doing great from nobody going slowly to become somebody is a huge progress to me and to my life. So for that, I will keep screaming every single day when he scores until I die, until I don't have breath.
That's me giving back, you know, just that unconditional love and support. And knowing that she had the faith in me, now it's time for me to step up and to become the man she raised me to be and pay her back in a big way.